First of all, just coming off of a really, really good practice. We've been in pads for a couple of days now. Super proud of our guys. Today we got into a little situational stuff and so starting to get into some of our field position work and just great energy, man. I'll tell you, it's been I've never had more fun in a football camp. As weird as it is, I've never had more fun in a football camp than this one. And I've never seen a bunch of guys have more fun practicing football than this team. And, I just think that that's a reflection of, just a deeper appreciation that we all have to do what we do. And it's another really, really good day. And again, making good progress as a team. But incredible leadership on this team. Super proud of our guys and, how they have set the tone and taken charge of trying to have a season, and articulating their thoughts and beliefs. And it's a great group of young men, and I could not be more proud to stand alongside of them and support them and fully support, what we're trying to do here at Clemson and not just here, all over college football. This game is important to so many people. And, what we have going on right here, right now is special. And, this is the safest environment that we could have our guys, without a doubt, as opposed to letting these guys all leave and go home and be in these environments where they're not getting tested, every single week. They don't have the type of sanitized environment that we have here, mitigated environment that we have here. The medical care. Anytime we haven't had a guy test positive, and we've had one since early July, and we've been together every day and practicing. And that doesn't mean somebody can't get the virus, but our quarantining plan and how these guys are cared for, and the nutrition, the supervision, and just most of all the motivation to do what they need to do, so that they can do what they love to do. And so it's been a really, really fun week. We started last Tuesday, and these guys have been awesome. So super proud of them, and again, especially how they've led, and hopefully we can continue to just stay the course, and everybody have an opportunity to play. I just wanted to support them and make sure that everybody understands. We all know that there's risk, and we all know there's a virus. And if we cancel football, the virus isn't going to go away. And it is fully my belief that these guys are safer here than without us. And not only are they safer here, mentally, it's better for them. And so just, nobody has to be here. I don't have to be here. I have 2 kids on the team. I have a junior in high school playing high school football. So we all understand that there's risk. And if you told me we canceled football, that nobody get the virus, hey, I'd be the first person to sign up. But that's not reality. The virus isn't going away. It's going to still be here in the spring. And, we've done a good job here of mitigating and finding a way to live with it and to do things in a safe way so that, again, we can do what we love to do. And, some people say, oh, well, you're just doing this for financial reasons. And, all this staff is going to get paid whether we're here or not. All these player scholarships are good whether they're here or not. This is what we love to do. Somewhere along the line, we have to recognize that we love the game. We love the game. And, again, we all know there's risk for sure. But we feel like this is the safest place that we could all be in this environment with each other to continue to push forward. So, again, I support my guys. I'm super proud of their leadership. And hopefully, again, we can find a way to get back to the field. Any questions?
Coach, there's a lot of Trevor Groves here at CUTigers.com. A lot of concern recently of potential cardiac issues related to the virus. You had a former player, James Adams, died at 26 of a heart condition. So you know firsthand what these heart conditions are like, even among great athletes. Have you been screening your players for cardiac issues, especially the ones that have had the COVID virus?
Yeah, I haven't because I'm no doctor, but our medical team has. Absolutely. Absolutely. These guys have tremendous care. Nobody's being put on the field or anything like that unless they are fully cleared.
Hey, Dabo, would you be supportive of a potential players association?
Absolutely. I think that, these guys, a long time we've had this, what they call SAC, which is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. That's been around for a while, and that was kind of multiple sports. And there's been a lot of good things come from that organization over the years in athletics. We have the CARA and the RERA, and there's been a lot of things that have come through the voice of all the student athletes coming together. But, football is it's kind of, it's its own thing. It's unique. It's different than basketball. It's different than volleyball. It's different than baseball. Every sport has kind of their own situations and circumstances and things like that. And, I think it would be great to have, a players association. That's different from a union. I'll say that, but I do think having some type of players association and these guys, really, to be honest with you, that's what we have here. We have a players association with how we run our program here, with Leadership Council, with Paul Journey ambassadors, with the Sweeney Huddle, with the Sweeney Council. All these players have always, from 2009, we've had lots of communication. That's how we've made a lot of decisions, and a lot of great things have come in our program through our players and through their voice. And so I think that on a bigger scale all throughout college football would be awesome.
Dabo, does this at all feel like the spring where you were going through spring practice? We talked to you on Pro Day. Then that weekend, one thing happened, then everything began to shut down. Do you feel like things are just not trending in the right direction for college football right now?
This does not feel that way to me, just because we and again, we're unique because we literally left on March the 12th for spring break, and we never saw each other again. This is very different because we're practicing, we're here, we're in meetings, we're in camp, we're together all day, every day. So it's very different. We're aware of what's going on out there, but listen, we're just trying to stay focused on what we control, and but also, fight for what we believe in, and other people making decisions, and again, nobody has to be here. There's not one person that has to be here, and our entire roster's here. Our entire staff's here. Our staff doesn't have to be here. But people forget, this is what we love to do. And we're doing it in the safest possible way that you can. And there's no doubt in my mind that our players are safer here in this environment, with this nutrition, with this food, with this supervised training, with this medical care, with our prehab and all the things and resources that are available to them, than they are all over the country, where they're not being tested every single week. They're not being tested. Their environment is not like it is here. Everything is mitigated, from fans to how this building is to how we practice. Everything has been mitigated. Yes, guys could still get it. I can get it. I can't do anything to keep me from getting it. I got 2 sons on the team. So, but we all, have to make our own risk assessments in life. It's always been that way, and it's no different. And again, if you could say that, hey, just cancel all this and everybody's perfectly safe, I'd be the first one saying, let's go. But that's not the case, and we all know that. And it's not going to be any different in the spring. It's not going to be any different in the spring. And so at some point, we have to find a way. Everybody has to make their own decision on what you want to do. And, I've made my decision. I have a football team that's made their decision. And, hopefully people will respect what we want to do and allow us to play.
Dabo, speaking of making your own decision, could you see the ACC and the SEC making a go of it if the other 3 Power 5 leagues that don't do it?
You have to ask Dan Radakovich that. I'm just trying to get my team ready. If we get a chance, I can just tell you, we'll play whenever, whoever, whatever, anywhere. We just want to play football. We just want to do what we love to do. And as far as all of that stuff, hey, that's Dan and the commissioners and all that. We're just going to we're going to just keep rolling and getting ourselves ready. And, you know, football is a developmental game. And I know there's a lot of comments about, you know, well, hey, you know, they are student athletes. They are not just students. They're student athletes. That's part of why they came. And we've always been on campus as long as I've been in college athletics before the student body. We've always had camp. We've always been on campus for a month or so before the students get here. This year it's just a little bit, few weeks longer, but they're student athletes. And yes, it's a unique year, but they can do the student part on. We can still all be students online, but you can't be an athlete online. And so, you know, this is part of what we're here to do, and it all goes hand in hand. And again, as far as all that stuff, and I have no idea. You know, my job is to, again, just get the guys ready to go. And I tell you what, this team is special. I've never had more fun, and I've never seen a team have more fun. Just literally practicing, because we don't know if we're going to get another day. And so we're literally just trying to just get better every single opportunity that we get. And today, I wish everybody could have seen our practice today, and the energy, the competitiveness, the fun, the focus, and just trying to just win the day.
Awesome. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap up, Coach, so we can get our student athletes in place. So, Coach, thank you. We'll be bringing in Trevor and Darian momentarily.
Hey, you guys. Darian Richard here. Just wanted to open up and just say, like, it's been obviously a crazy time for student athletes. And I think the past couple of weeks, obviously, there's been a lot of things going on. And as we've seen just across, like, media, social media and stuff like that, like, we've seen there's been a lot of opportunities for division this entire year, 2020. And as we kind of sat back and reflected upon, like, everything that's going on, we just wanted to bring about unity. I think seeing other players across the country, I think it sounded like we were saying different things, but I feel like a lot of us wanted the same thing. We all want to play. The majority of us, we want to do it safely. And I think every generation has a responsibility to bring about change. We want to bring about change. And that's something we've been able to do at Clemson and athletes across the country. And so, like, the past 48 hours have been crazy. In football terms, we kind of threw our last Hail Mary to see if we could make something happen. And then just to see the response and the support of so many guys that ultimately want the same thing. We want to play. We want to do it safely. And we ultimately, originally, we want to play safe. We feel safe. And just seeing all of us come together around we want to play and we are united. It's really special. Trev?
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much hit it all, but I'd just say the biggest thing is we've kind of proved as a group. I mean, we got on the phone last night through the past day with guys from across the country and organized something where we all agreed. We all said, hey, we want to play. That's the number one priority right now. You know, that's what we do. That's what we love to do. And we're just trying to have a shot. So I think that says a lot, that we can get a group from across the country, 5 different conferences, and we can agree on something and put something together in that amount of time. So, I mean, that's the main thing I want to say.
And I want to give those guys, just like for the record, I know some of the guys haven't been give them a shout out, but it was awesome just to see like just the power of social media and pretty much technology. But it was me, Trevor, Javon Holland from Oregon, Nick Ford, Kayvon Thibodeau, Nate Sewell from Oregon, Johnny Johnson, Najee Harris, Dallas Hobbs, Hunter Reynolds, Chuba Hubbard, and Justin Fields, and a guy named Dylan Bowles from Stanford. All those guys are very instrumental, and just like all of us coming together last minute. One of the guys is a graphic comm major, pretty much brought the graphic, just kind of went viral. And so it was just amazing to see a guy like brought it all together, ultimately for us to have a chance. Do I say questions? Any questions?
Hey guys, David Hill with ESPN here. Appreciate you guys doing this and appreciate all the work that you put into making this happen. I wonder if you could kind of just sort of talk through the timeline of how those conversations came together, and what was, I mean, were you guys doing this via Zoom, text message? Like, what was the logistics of actually making this message come together?
I'll start off. I think so. There was a lot of people that kind of rallied together around like the Black Lives Matter movements a couple months ago. There's a lot of student athletes that kind of, obviously the world saw we took stand and used our voices. I think a lot of people from other schools supported what we were doing, and we support what they were doing. So there's a couple of group messages. One was the College Athlete Unity, CAU, was kind of joined. Amari Rogers on our team kind of plugged. Me and a couple of guys from other universities. So I knew the guys from the Big Ten United, like two of the guys, the DB from Michigan and the DB from Minnesota. And then the Pac-12 guys, they had their thing out west, and just honestly connected with those guys, and we were trying to glean. We want to do on this end. And so last night, obviously, a lot of people saw the Big Ten, or like the commissioners had a big decision to make, and we were just trying to figure out, like, ultimately, I feel like we can get one collective voice, which I think is powerful. Have a unity as student athletes. We can come together, all five Power 5 conferences, and come together. I think it'd be special. So we kind of use our resources. Trevor got his boys. I got some of my friends. Other people just kind of got everybody together, and I think we got the right guys from the right places. And ultimately, we make the right difference. Trev, you want to add?
I didn't hear the question. It kind of cut out. What was the question?
I was just curious, Trevor, about the logistics of how the conversations came together. You know, were you texting people and saying, like, here's what I'm thinking we should do, and they're getting back to you with ideas? Like, how did you all end up agreeing on a message to put out there?
I think it was actually pretty seamless. Like, you know, me and Darian have been talking for throughout this whole thing we've been talking, but it really got more urgent yesterday, obviously with all the news and hearing about the Big Ten, like Darian was saying. So we were like, man, we gotta do something quick, and we gotta do something that'll make people read it and, you know, make people listen, because we felt like all the momentum was going the wrong way for us. So we wanted to do something that would change that. And I mean, it was really pretty seamless. We just started talking to everyone, and we all just agreed, hey, number one priority is we want to play. If you don't want to play, we respect that. You know, there is that choice to opt out, so we understand that. But the guys that we talk to, everybody wants to play, and that was the main thing. Is like, that's what we're pushing for right now. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff out there that you know, who knows, down the line we'll have to make decisions, and maybe those things can happen. But right now, we want to play. That's what we're here to do. That's what we love to do. And it was really pretty seamless, though.
Yeah, it was a last-minute call. We got a 10:30 Zoom meeting on the East Coast and some guys from the West Coast, and we all just pulled together, and we're glad it went through well.
Trevor,
What's it been like to get mentions even from, like, NFL players?
Can you repeat the question?
What's it been like for you guys to get retweets and mentions even from NFL players that have great respect for what you're doing?
I think it's just that unity of football players. I mean, anyone that loves the game isn't just gonna give it up easily. And we think just with the situation, we know it's not there's not an easy answer necessarily, but we really do feel safe here. And I know hopefully it's like that everywhere. We don't know other than what we have here, but we feel safe here. We feel safer here than anywhere else, honestly. And when you go outside of these walls and you go get food, you go do anything, you're at just as much, if not more, risk. So that's the thing, that we feel safe here. We want to do what we love, have some normalcy. Things haven't been normal in a while, and just being out here practicing. We just love being out here, and it's been great. You know, not that many people usually enjoy fall camp, and I think the whole team has had fun. And I heard Coach Sweeney saying, because you don't know, it might be your last day. So we're just soaking it up and hoping to get another day after that.
Trevor, this is Matt with the state. What does a players' association look like to you, and how could it be different from a union?
Yeah, I think the wording definitely is like association, as we've like kind of talked. And I think it looks like there's some things that are already kind of put in place that even Coach Sweeney mentioned. But I think just having a collective voice, whether that's like players get nominated from each conference, and then amongst the Power Five, because obviously I feel like the Power Five are like have their own way of dealing with things. And as we've seen, I think if there was maybe a sooner collective voice, things could happen a lot sooner, maybe happen better, as far as like things like pretty much the protocols, precautions, all that stuff that we've like experienced as student athletes. And so I think in the days that come, I think that would be very beneficial for us to be heard, and to ultimately, the biggest thing me and Trevor talked about is like it's to unite our voices with the people in power, like administration, commissioners, and that's ultimately like been our experience here. Like we have a direct line of communication with Coach Sweeney, Bishop Dan Ryder, Coach IED, and President Clements. And if we could get that more on a bigger scale for more athletes, I think that's like, as far as the association, that's the goal.
Yeah, I think just making decisions better because you don't know what you don't know. Like we don't know what the ADs, the commissioners, everyone has to go through that's making these decisions, and they also don't know what our experience is like all the time. And so when decisions are being made on our behalf that affect us tremendously, it would be great if we could have players' voices in that. And we obviously know there has to be a chain of command, and obviously we're not the final say and we don't make the decision, but I think that just makes for better decisions when we understand them and they understand us. And you have reliable voices that are, giving feedback and saying, this is what it's like. This is what we're experiencing right now. And I mean, we're all adults making decisions for ourselves, and we wouldn't be out here if we were risking our lives. Like, I know I wouldn't if I felt like I was at risk. I mean, I just got engaged and want to get married. I'm looking forward to that. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we do feel safe. We're not just saying that just because we want to play. And the coaches out here, they have families, they have kids, a lot of them have babies. I mean, it's just we're all making decisions for ourselves and for our families, but also we understand the risk of just living at this time. It's still a risk too. So, but yeah, anyway, that's kind of
like just
hey, both of you guys, Dave. This is David Hood. Trevor, you just made a great point that the athletic directors and the presidents they don't know what you have to go through. So now you both of you, both Darian and Trevor, you have a powerful media group at your disposal right now. What would you tell them if you could see them face to face? What is it that you would say to this media group? Go and tell these guys this. This is how we feel. This is what we want, and how important this game is to you.
Yeah, I think the main thing is, well, first of all, I'll say RAD, Dan Radakovich, has done a great job communicating and talking with us. So just hats off to him for sure. But I guess to everyone else, media, commissioners, whatever, whoever's making the decisions that are kind of leaning the opposite way, I would just say this is what we love to do, and we're passionate about it. You've seen that. We've organized things really quickly to show how much we care about it. But also, like I said, I think we're all smart enough that this many people are making this decision to play. We feel safe, and I think with communication and a chain of command, we really can provide a safe way to play. And that's what we're doing here. And if every program can get on the same page, I just think that there's a way to do it. And we've seen that. We've been communicating with other guys from other teams, and many of them are doing it. There's some that aren't, and we just really feel like if the NCAA can talk or whatever conferences and just put a plan together and even bounce things off us, like what do we need to do to be safe? But I feel like we can do it because we're safe. So that's why you're hearing what we're saying.
Yeah, and I would just, from my end, I would say, like, ultimately, if we could talk to those people, is like I want to communicate, like, because there's been a lot of, like, rhetoric out there. Like, I don't think we're trying to revolt as much as we're trying to merge together and unite. Is we ultimately, like Trevor said earlier, like I feel like they can glean something from really hearing our experiences, especially each individual school. But also, like, we honestly understand they have a tough job as well. But I feel like there's been this broken chain of command where, like, I feel like they aren't hearing us and we aren't hearing them. And I think if we could just all come together and really, like, obviously put safety first, and I think just every school, the schools that are able to pay for the protocols to make things safe, like we have here at Clemson and other schools around the country, and come together and see what we can have a season, ultimately play for something, and let this be a special year. I feel like we have a big opportunity here to, honestly, to do something special. And I know it's a lot of adversity, like, obviously here, but I think if we all came together, I think it's going to be one of the most special years of college football ever.
Scott Kiefer here for both of you. When reports come out like today that the Big Ten and the Pac-12 are about to cancel their seasons, how do you both maintain optimism that the ACC won't follow that path?
Keep the faith, honestly. And I would just say, I think I'm not condemning anybody for making decisions they made, but I think I think it's very commendable that, like, the people, ACC, SEC, and other schools that are making decisions, like, they're not just making decisions because everybody else is making decisions. I think people are really trying to take into effect that what is the right decision to make. And I want to just normalize changing your mind. I think if we go, I think it was super drastic. Like, last week, we all put out schedules. Everybody from across the country was ready to play. And then this week, we're canceling seasons. It's almost like me and Trevor both talk. I think players across the country, if it gets really bad, like, let's not do it. But I think things have been good from a lot of our experiences. And ultimately, I feel like we almost should have just bought more time. Like, I don't think just ending it cold turkey is the best thing. And so, that would be my thing. I think we're just trying to – I'm glad our conference is fighting for us. And I would just say, like, as we see, hopefully, we continue to see what we've seen here at Clemson. Like, we've been honest about our numbers, and we've seen them come down. And other schools have done the same thing. And I think in the days that come, if we see progress, like, let's continue to play until – otherwise. But I think it's been good, and if it gets bad, then we'll course correct. But right now, it's been good, and I think just they owe it to the players fight for us.
Darren, I wonder if you could elaborate a little bit on Matt's question from earlier about the difference between a union and an association. I think when people hear either, they tend to think you guys are kind of banding together to push for things like revenue sharing, which I know the Pac-12 kind of brought up in its letter. How much of that was a part of the discussions that you guys had, and do you view that as an element of what this could potentially become one day, or is it something that was not really at the forefront?
I'm definitely aware. Like, I'm a college athlete. Like, I think I'm all for some of the things that could be beneficial to more athletes down the road. I think like compensation and all that stuff. I think there's a time and a place. But I do know, like, if we don't play, there's gonna be nothing to get compensated upon. And so I think just in order to change this game of college football, I think we need to play the game first. I think as we play the game, we can come to the table more. But I think the first priority was to play. And yeah, me and Trevor are definitely where I think they're in the days to come, like the NIL, and I think there'll be other things that, like, I think you should tie them to education, but there'll be things for players to get more than players have in the past. I think it's due time for some of that stuff, but I think there needs to be an order to it. And ultimately, like, I feel like the most thing we rallied around was wanting to play. Because I think if we play, like we've seen in other sports, like the NBA, like if we play, we can use our voices to stand up. But if we don't play, we don't have any leverage to speak upon things that can change. I don't think. I think by playing, it gives us the leverage to be and create more change. Trev?
Yeah, I would say, like I've been saying, the main thing for me, I might think differently than other people, is I just want to play football. I know there's all those things down the line for me. One day, I'll be playing for money. That's just not right now. I know that, and I guess next year, obviously, the NIL, all that will come into play. But I mean, I just want to play football, and that's my main thing. I know a lot of people have other beliefs, and it's not right or wrong, but that was my main thing. I was like, guys, we need to put something together, or we're not even gonna be able to play. And me and Darian kind of agreed on that. Got all the guys, and some of those things kind of came up, and we were just like, without playing though, I mean, what are we gonna do? We don't, like, this is what we're here to do. We're student athletes. We want to play football. A lot depends on us playing. Our families, this has created so much of a better life for so many people, getting this opportunity to go play football in college. So at the end of the day, I think there's so much harm in just canceling the season for so many people that it affects everyone differently. But I just don't see that as the right way, honestly.
Hey guys,
and more so,
Swan,
especially
Clemson Sports Talk. Let me ask you this: normally at this time of year, you guys are already signed off of social media. I mean, did the thought process that this could exist during fall camp kind of keep things alive for you in terms of your social media accounts? And if you guys had shut it down, what would you think you'd do today on that front?
It was God's timing. I think every senior class, never been Coach Swinney's thing, but I think back in 2012, 2013, the senior class, it was different back then. I think they had BlackBerries and flip phones, but they decided to get off like Facebook and whatever social media was then. And ever since then, it was just, I mean, Clemson, we're all about like less is more. We want to limit distractions. But I think as times have changed, I think guys have grown up more in this era of social media. We think we can handle it. We create like a new social media policy that Coach Swinney let us vote on, that we'll still limit distractions on game day and day before game day. And honestly, seeing the timing of it, I think it was just God's plan. That really wasn't a focus as far as like us thinking about doing this stuff. I think it just all came together timely. This is the first year in a long time that we're going to have social media during the season. And as we've seen, I think it's been powerful for us to have it at this moment in time.
Hey guys, for both of you, Trevor Groves here, CUTigers.com. How much do y'all just stick together as a team? I know students aren't on campus right now, but there are obviously a lot of Clemson students off campus, getting ready for online classes and so forth. Do y'all go to parties or socialize with the students that aren't on the team? And how do you ensure, as leaders of the team, the two of you, how do you ensure the safety of your teammates and if they're doing the right things and making the right decisions? I mean, would y'all be in favor of some sort of a curfew or anything like that? Or how do you take those measures?
I think we've seen already the positive effects of the policies that we have, or the protocols that we have in place here. It's definitely been a lot different than when we first came back in June. We had guys coming back from everywhere, so we had a lot of positives, a lot of spikes, and then but after a few weeks, and then when we got a break and came back and had our protocols, it's been a big difference. The way people carry themselves outside of here and also in here, everyone's wearing their masks. always washing their hands. And then when we're outside of here, just staying in small circles, not hanging out with a bunch of different people. And then just being transparent, being upfront. You hung out with someone who was sick or who you heard might have had it before or whatever it is, just being honest with the staff and making sure I think we're all really just taking care of each other, trying to. And then that's going to be obviously a challenge is when everyone gets back is staying in your circle and staying away from people. But if it's really about player safety, if you get rid of football, it's going to be a lot worse. People are going to be out downtown, hanging out, going wherever, whether they're back home or here. And I just think that opens up a whole new can of worms. And that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, and as far as like protocols go, I feel like some of the knowledge out there really is like not accurate. I think so. These aren't like Clemson protocols. This is something I've learned, but these are the protocols that Clemson has gotten from the ACC and the ACC have gotten from these doctors. So we're just doing what we've been told, doing to the best of our ability. And ultimately, I feel like it's been effective. But I really do know. This is me being honest and speaking. I think I speak for a lot of players. Like if it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have the motivation like I do now to really like abide by these protocols and do the best I can. Because ultimately, like I don't want to jeopardize the opportunity. I think I think a lot of guys across the country will feel that way as well. Is like if it's some responsibility if we do play to maintain and help keep the protocols in order for us to play. We'll be tested every week. And so if guys want to play, they'll do what they need to do.
Darian, this is Matt with the state. I know you said the administration has supported you guys. What have your conversations been like with them? And from what you understand, where are things with the ACC and with Clemson as far as moving forward?
From what I understand is like, I think they're all wise people, but I think the best thing that I've seen from the ACC, especially our school in general, is just to communicate with the athletes. Like, I think there was a narrative out there that was kind of getting thrown around that we didn't want to play. And we want to play. And there was a narrative thrown around that we didn't feel safe. But ultimately, as they talk to us, we feel safe. And I think they're just like taking it steady, like 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. And ultimately, we don't play until 5 or 6 more weeks. And if things get crazy, I think they'll be wise enough to make decisions they need to. But right now, things have been good. I think that's been across the board for the majority of the ACC schools from what I've been told. Like, things have been better than when people came back. Obviously, I think there still needs to be some more accountability across every school just to make sure everybody's doing what they need to do. But here at Clemson, we've been doing what we need to do. And I think just it's been, like you said, like somebody used the word optimism. This gave me some hope seeing them fight for us and not just honestly cave in because somebody else made a decision. And that was their decision. But I think the ACC had to make a decision, and right now they're making it in light of the players speaking up.
Do you guys recognize how powerful this could be if there is a college football season and what the names Darian Rencher and Trevor Lawrence might mean moving forward?
Oh, man. Crazy question. Me and Trevor, like, this is the crazy part. We were sitting at like a table last night, actually Trevor's girlfriend's house, and we were before everything happened, and we were like, man, like we got it's in football. We know we don't give up till it's over. It wasn't over. And I think just is the hope and that's a belief of our program, and we just believe. Like when everybody else don't believe, we believe, and ultimately we know we can find a solution in every problem. And we obviously a lot of people are doubting. A lot of people got like very like pessimistic about the situation. But we just believed, and ultimately, like we know, man, leaders find solutions. And I think we were digging deep, and we found something. And hopefully, we're doing this not just for us, but I think hopefully it brings so much hope to football players to feel empowered, but also just there are so many people across the country that need to watch sports. Like it's brought me so much joy watching NBA. But I think college football is special, and so hopefully we can salvage whatever season we can make of it and play for something. And I think this year will be the most worthy champion.
Trevor, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, along those lines, it's never really crossed our mind, I think, that what it would like mean for us necessarily. We just are trying to echo and organize everyone that we love and are close to, and also from other conferences want and that's to play. And I mean, like Darian said, just finding a way to organize it has been something that's been kind of a new challenge that Darian's a little bit better at that than me. So kind of using my platform, my voice, and he's good at rallying people together. So we make a pretty good team on that front. But I think just like he said, it's gonna be empowering and to show that our voices do matter and that we can make something happen. Hopefully, if we can make a season work.
We'll take a couple more.
Hey guys, this is Grace from The Athletic. We've seen you guys specifically team up before. I'm just curious how you guys got close in the first place.
Like
you can answer there.
We got cool. I would say after Trev's like red shirt year. Well, he came in early. We were like, I mean, we knew each other. We obviously, I think everybody Clemson's pretty much like we're all family. But you get closer to some people, you kind of find your clique. And then I would say like the summer going to his freshman year, we just kind of got cool. Like we started realizing we got some of the same aspirations and dreams, and some of like we believe in the same things. I think we just become brothers. I think in college you meet some of your best friends, and I think our girlfriends became best friends, which put us together all the time because they want to hang out all the time. So I think we just grown to be friends. I think I play running back, he plays quarterback, so I'm on the field with him at the same time. And so I would say just the being around the facility, and then ultimately us coming together, like we just got a lot of the same things we want in life. And it's been cool to have my boy by my side and ultimately be together. And I think God's been purposeful in bringing us together for a time such as this.
One more.
I don't know if you want me to add on to that. I think it's just cool. Kind of symbolic of all this too is like me and Darian are really completely different from different areas, different parts of the country, different beliefs to a certain extent. But in the end, we just clicked and didn't really know why. Like we've been friends for, I guess, coming on like 3 years now, and it showed the past like 6 months. It's cool how God kind of works things out, and not that we're friends to accomplish this or anything. It's just how it's been, and gotten really close. He's like family to me. I know for each other we've been a safe place to talk about things that we don't really feel comfortable talking to anybody else about. So that's kind of, I don't know. We're just boys.
For sure.
We'll take one more.
I guess, Trevor, I'll ask the last one. Obviously, your voices were heard by President Trump today. How encouraging is that? That your voice is heard, and how confident are you that the Power 5 commissioners and people who are deciding the fate of your season have heard your voice?
I think it's pretty obvious that everyone's heard it now. Who knows what conversations will spark from that. Hopefully good ones that head in the right direction. That was our goal. And I'll just echo again what Darian said, especially from our point of view, me and Darian. The goal of this is never to revolt, to rebel, but just to bring people together and to ultimately do what we feel like what the goal should be for everyone involved in this process, and that's to play safely. And we just feel passionate about that, and that's why we've kind of rallied the troops, give it a last shot, and we'll see what happens.
Just to add to that real quick, I think it just shows the power of football. I mean, it is a game, but obviously we've seen, man, it's more than a game. Like, it brings people together, it develops young men, and it gives everybody, it gives a lot of people purpose. And I think just in America, man, football matters. It really does. And I think we've been able to see guys use their platform, use their influence to speak up for things that aren't pertaining to football. Obviously, in early 2020, with this Black Lives Matter movement, social injustice, I think now it is special that we're actually standing up for what we do. Like, we've been standing up for everything else. I think it's special to stand up for, we want to play the game we love. And ultimately, I think it's going to be good for our country if we can pull it off and all of us come together and rally the troops.
All right, we're going to wrap up questions, but Darian, Trevor, if you guys have any final closing remarks, take it away.
Trev, you go first. I'll finish.
Yeah, I just thank y'all for good questions, and I feel like everyone in here is asking actually meaningful questions, and just thank y'all for hearing us and listening. And like I said, it's just our last shot. I know Darian's a fifth-year senior. I'm graduating in December, and we really just want to play and make it happen. But thank y'all.
Yeah, I just want to just honor the people that have empowered us, like our school, our coach, our AD, our president, and then from there, just speaking out. I want to just say this again. I really want to normalize things being changed. I feel like in our country sometimes, or just in life, people feel like they make a decision, they can't go back on it. But I think just if the days go ahead, and I think people are setting up for us and we want to play and things get better, I would love to just see the humility, or if not, just from other people that if they want to play again, let them play. And then just speaking out, man, I'm just so thankful for all the athletes, football players, fans, alumni from each school that have stood up and supported all athletes, especially football players, during this tough time. Because it really has been a group effort and a collective voice that we want to play. You guys want us to play, and if we can figure it out and bring about a solution, I think that's the thing. And unite together, I think it'd be special. I think 2020 has been the same theme. Man, I think if we can, there's people that need help, and if we can all come together and make it happen, I think this could be a year that was meant for bad. We could turn into something really good. I think hopefully football can be a part of that process. So thank you guys. We are united. We want to play.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining us. Trevor, Darian, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.